Well, how do you do? Brandon Gentili here. What's going on, guys? Wednesday, March 22nd, 2023. FOMC day, guys. It's Fed day. It is Fed day. What other way would you love to spend your life than waiting for a few Muppets, one guy, or 12 people in a circular room with mahogany desks, controlling the fate, the very fate of your time and energy that you spend toiling away from your friends and family? What better way? What better way to spend this than together, waiting with bated breath of what a few people are going to say, so they can literally determine the fate, the outcome of your time and energy. Like you're just a good little cog in the system, just a good little number in the system. But don't let that out of the bag. Don't tell anyone else that, because they might think you're a conspiracy theorist. They might think that you are reading crazy books, or they might think that you're gone down some rabbit hole, or you're doing something crazy because you're going against the norm, going against the narrative. Did you know that Crabs, A Deadliest Catch, one of the longest running shows in all of TV history? Did you know that Crabs, one of my favorite shows, by the way, back when I was in college, I was 20 years ago, did you know that, almost 20 years ago, coming up on 20 years, did you know, though, that crabs can get out of the cage? I always wondered that. Like, how are crabs in the cage still? Can't they just climb back out? There's not really like a crazy contraption going on there. And yes, of course, they can get out of the cage. The insidious part of crab nature is that when a crab is making their way, they are making their way. I don't know what pronouns they use, making their way out of the cage, the other crabs reach up and pull that crab back in. So the crab is escaping, looking for a better life, got their food, and they're making their way out of the cage, yet the other crabs pull them back in. Does that sound a little bit like human nature? You're trying to do something different, maybe start a business, do something, invest in Bitcoin, invest in gold and silver, buy some food storage, get some water filtration. Try to prepare your family like a good, honest, decent human being, like humans have done for thousands of years. Being prepared, that's just being a good, conscientious human being, smart human being. And then you've got your family and friends and mainstream media and TikToks and culture telling you what a moron you are, telling you you're crazy, you're a prepper, all these derogatory terms, just because you're trying to get prepared, or heaven forbid, you're trying to alert them maybe and say, hey, the bridge is out ahead, guys, or the road's out. There's no bridge, it's not there. It's the ravine, it's Clayton Ravine, it's Eastwood Ravine, Back to Future 3. It's not there, guys. The dollar is debt. It's not backed by anything. It's paper, it's toilet paper, it's fugazis, it's monopoly currency. That's it. And when you say those things, it just blows people's minds. They cannot do a thing to understand what is going on and even remotely comprehend what is happening. So here we are today. Happy Fed Day. The markets, everything is somewhat calm. The calm before the storm, 3.55 in the 10-year. Bitcoin's at 28.4, so Bitcoin's steadily rising still, and so that liquidity indicator, then gold and silver are still up a bit. Actually, they're getting bumped up. People are getting a little scared. They're putting their life into the hands of a few, donkeys at a round table here. There's no other way to say it. So the 10-year though, the trifecta though, the 10-year. And the dollar DXY again is just bumped down just a little bit on the DXY, and so a little bit of softness there. And oil is ticked up a little bit. So people are on with bated breath. They are waiting for what's going to happen. So we'll try to do a video in a little bit to see exactly what happened and the moves that will come from that, and what the Overlord Powell said, forward guidance and what's happening. That's a lot of what the Fed does, right? So the Fed, because we have a fiat system, it's by decree, it's by narrative. It's not backed by anything. It's only backed by words and a bunch of yappers. That's all it is. And people say oil and war and petrodollar and the bond market. It's really, the whole market is based off of confidence, a con game, and fiat, and just people flapping their gums and forward guidance. That's really all it is. Because at the end of the day, if this bank runs continue going, the economy is psychological. It's like a psychological phenomenon. So if tomorrow 5-10% of the people just said, I'm out, what if the Trump contingent just said, I'm pulling my money out of the banks, I'm pulling my cash out of the banks, screw you, I'm getting screwed in the system, I'm pulling my cash out, boom, system collapse immediately, game over, everything freezes up. So not really backed by the military, is it? What is the military going to do? Nothing. So if 5, 10, 15, 20% of the people, if all Trump supporters say, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to Bitcoin. I'm getting out of here. I'm not being censored anymore. I'm not taking part in this evil system anymore. The bond market that perpetually enslaves my children and myself with future taxation by buying a bond, and so I guarantee my taxation in the future, my slavery in the future. If people woke up to that fact, it would be game over. Done. Light, night, night, lights out, turn the lights out. That's it. That's what we have to understand. That's what we have to know. So it's a psychological phenomenon. And we know, no one knows when that's going to happen. When I was younger, I wanted to say, oh, it's going to happen. You know, everyone gets into Bitcoin. People that have the scales fall from their eyes and they start understanding Bitcoin, they all think, we all think that, oh, in 90 days, it's going to happen. This whole system is going to collapse. And this is not how it works. It's the Titanic's slowly sinking beneath the waves, and it's getting onto the new monetary standard, the Bitcoin standard, where it's an equal playing field. It's an equity-based system. You know, bricks, all this other garbage, all this other crap, that's just a recreation of the same system. They're going to try to back it with gold and commodities, stuff like that, to try to give it people confidence. Again, con game, but they're still playing fiat. They're still going to be, it's going to be a standard. They're going to centralize the commodities. They have control still, and the gold and everything. And let's print more claim checks over time. The system will do the same thing it just did over the last 50 years. It will collapse eventually. So if you want a true game that won't collapse over time, Bitcoin is the only option. It is the only option at all. So we looked at the trifecta here, and then we looked at the 3 global liquidity indicators. Now let's see if Bitcoin's running. Speaking of Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin doing? Is it running? Can we audit it? Yes, we can. Unlike banks, do you know what's working? Bitcoin. You know what's not? Banks. You know what's not working? Federal Reserve, because we're waiting here with bated breath on what they're going to do, what decisions they're going to make on what the cost of cash is going to be. Absolute clown world. If you want to live in that system, hey, go ahead. By all means, if you want smash and grab stores, homelessness everywhere, if you want, fiat foods in your lunch and the first lady deciding what your lunch is going to be, hey, cool, so be it. I just tweeted out earlier today, the millennials starting with Occupy Wall Street and the Tea Party, the bankers and politicians don't understand. The younger generations don't want to save this fiat crumbling legacy monetary system. They're not trying to save the Titanic going down. That's what many of the older generations, God love them, especially the bankers and the politicians, they don't understand that. They want a new game built on an equal playing field. They want Bitcoin. Now, again, I came from the gold silver world. No one's going to go to the gold and silver world. Younger generations are not going to do that. No one cares. I don't even know anyone under 35, 40, my age and younger that knows or cares about gold. There's a few people I know because I've talked to them about it over the years that have it, but they could care less. I don't even know if they remember they have it, to be totally honest. So people want a standard that can cross space and time, and they can transact digitally immediately at the speed of light. Well, that's Bitcoin, and it can't be corrupted. That's Bitcoin. And they can hold it on their phone. That's Bitcoin. That's the standard. That's what we're going into. There is no other way. There is no other way. So when we see Bitcoin running like this, every 10 minutes we can audit it. You can run your own node for a few $100s and audit this system. You can't do that with the Federal Reserve. You're getting constantly screwed over by the Federal Reserve day in and day out, every second of every day, forever. Here we are, $31.5 trillion in debt. Good luck with that. If you want that, great, so be it. If you want mass debt piled onto you and yourself and your children and your grandchildren, great, so be it. I will take this route. I will take and hold a currency, a money that is gaining in purchasing power, gaining in value, and decreasing in supply over time. That's Bitcoin, destroying the dollar here, as you see. So I will take that every day of the week, and I will sell the currency that's worthless, the toilet paper that they keep printing more and more of, and it becomes more and more worthless. That's my that's my choice, and I'm sticking to it. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? I feel phenomenal. I sleep like a baby at night. I've got myself in cold storage. I've protected my assets. I've built this for the last 12, 14 years. I've built myself, my family office, my portfolio as a way to hedge all the craziness I could see was coming very easily. And on purpose, purposely set up, getting your mind straight. You're reading books like this, getting your mind right with psychocybernetics, understanding the world we're playing in, the grand chessboard. All these books are the path to enlightenment and understanding what is actually happening in the world. And if we don't understand that, we're doomed to repeat it. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your comments. The algorithm hates truth, so please share this out. It's the only way to overwhelm the system is to overwhelm and have more and more people spreading truth and questioning the mainstream narrative, which, again, if the mainstream narrative worked, then we'd all be happy, living in bliss, and infinitely wealthy. So clearly that doesn't work. So you would think, as a sane human being, you want to go a different direction and maybe question something and go the other way. But so few people end up doing that. I was just looking here. The average net worth by age. I mean, this is unbelievable. The average net worth at 45, 50 years old is $800,000. That's it. And really, you should be looking at the median, because the wealthy really bring this up big time. So really, we should be looking at the median. I mean, $200,000, $100,000, 200, all the way across the board. How are you going to live on that? People aren't going to live on that. I've done articles. Go back and look at how you're going to save Social Security, how you're going to save Medicare and 401ks. And there's only, if we keep doing the same thing, expecting a different result, that's crazy. I mean, this is the result right here. We have the results to look at, and we just continue trying to do the same thing, and it doesn't work. It's not going to work. So you have to do something different. You have to start owning actual money, Bitcoin mainly, and a little bit of gold and silver. Protect yourself. Remove yourself from the old world and get independent, get resilient. It's the only way to remove yourself from these overlords that think they control every act of your life. Absolute clown world. Time is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is time. It's the only fair trade, the only two finite assets we have, humans have ever discovered. So why would you trade anything else for your finite time? You only get so much. So trade it for the only other finite asset. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Period. So I appreciate your time and energy. This is not financial advice. This is freedom advice. How are we going to live and operate in this world, this new world, this digital world? There's only a few ways. Your life will get cheaper as you hold hard assets, and it will get more expensive when you hold fiat currencies, when you hold dollars. So I appreciate you. Please share this out. Please share this out, as Bitcoin's running in the background, perfectly auditable. TikTok, next block every 10 minutes. Let's go. You know, it's not running. Again, the Fed, the banks, the dollar, not running, falling apart as we speak. So I appreciate you. Please share this out. It's the only way to overwhelm the system, and its algorithm hates truth. So please share this out, and please keep educating. Keep building community. Bitcoin, gold, silver, food, energy, water, security, firearms, ammo, land, and community. Keep building community. Keep building with like-minded people who have free market, liberty on their mind, and truth and morality. Appreciate you. See you on the next one.